Micah Parsons wants out as he has officially requested a trade from the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome into For Verts, where we cover the NFL and college football every single day. Going to react to his trade request and then take a look at 5 trade ideas to ship him out of Dallas. Here's what Micah had to say on Twitter earlier today, a portion of his statement. He said, "Yes, I wanted to be here. I did everything I could to show that I wanted to be a Cowboy and wear the star on my helmet. I wanted to play in front of the best fans in sports and make this America's team once again. The team my pops and I grew up cheering for way up in Harrisburg, PA. Unfortunately, I no longer want to be here." Toward the end of his statement, he said, "I have made a tough decision that I no longer want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Stephen Jones personally." Things can obviously change. We saw it with Myles Garrett in Cleveland. He was doing the radio row at the Super Bowl. "I'm out of here, trade request." Then they made him the highest non-paid QB in history. So that could still happen, certainly. But this feels a little different. Micah seems pretty fed up. In that statement, he also said that, Jerry and Steven kind of dragging him publicly rubbed him the wrong way. And I've mentioned that multiple times on this show. I don't get what Jerry's strategy was, dragging him publicly, considering he played last season without a new deal when he was extension eligible, even though it's pretty clear this is a guy worth keeping around. He showed up to camp this year on a 5th-year option without a new deal. You're still dragging him in the media. What is the purpose of that? And this is the result you get. You get a pissed-off superstar who wants out now. And again, money talks. This could certainly be repaired, but it's a combination of waiting too long because you're indecisive for some reason and ego. And that's kind of just who Jerry Jones is. He's not very good at this contract thing. Steven's not good at it either. And if they do keep him, they're going to have to pay him $42, $43, maybe even $45 million per year on a historic contract, where if you did this a year ago, or at least came to terms earlier in the offseason, maybe you get him in the mid-30s. So it's unfortunate all around if you're a Cowboys fan. And again, maybe this still gets done, but this is not in a great way at this point in time. I will say this. You could get a lot for Micah Parsons. And there is a small part of me that's like, well, if you're Dallas, you're paying Dak 60, CeeDee Lamb 34. Do you want to also pay a third player 40+ and have 3 players count $130 million of your salary? That's quite a bit. The rest of your team, you better draft extraordinarily well for years to come. So I think there is some pluses to doing this, but it's more about how they've gone about it and how they've operated. And that's always kind of the legitimate outside noise that Jerry Jones receives, because he's just not really caught up with the times at this point in his career. Okay, will the Cowboys trade Micah Parsons? Do you think it ends up happening? Type Y for yes, you do, or N for no, you do not. Okay, 5 teams that could trade for him and a trade idea for each team. The Seattle Seahawks will start, as they've been a team in recent years that have just not consistently gotten after the quarterback. Obviously, Micah helps solve that problem instantly if you get him on board. So here's a trade idea. Micah Parsons and a 2026 4th to the Seattle Seahawks, 2 first-round picks, and Boye Mafe to the Dallas Cowboys. Mafe has 15 sacks over the last 2 years. Good player. Nice rotation piece. I'd say average-ish, maybe above-average starter. Really good rotation edge rusher. So, you get a piece back if you're Dallas, which I do think they would like to get a player back. Still young, could still develop further and reach more potential. But at the worst case, you have a solid rotation edge rusher there. Okay, the Chicago Bears, who have had a aggressive offseason here, and obviously one of their biggest holes is pass rush. They have not excelled in that department over the last few years, especially last season. So Micah Parsons and a 6th to the Bears, 2026 6th-round pick. Montez Sweat to Dallas, a 1st-round pick and a 4th-round pick. And why Montez Sweat? Because in a perfect world, you'd like to pair Micah with Montez Sweat. Well, the Bears did pay Dio Adengbo this offseason $16 million. So you're going to have Micah costing 42, Montez Sweat costing 24, and Adengbo costing 16. Quick math, that's like $82 million for 3 edge rushers. That is a lot of money. Whereas if you trade Montez Sweat, not only does that help soften the blow of the draft capital you're sending Dallas, you also shed $21 million. That's pretty substantial and makes paying Micah 40+ a little bit easier of a pill to swallow if you are Bears GM Ryan Poles. Now, obviously, Montez Sweat, when he first got traded to the Bears, had an excellent season in 2023. Didn't have his best year last year. Played through a foot injury for a lot of the year. His heel was an issue, so I think he was just unable to drive off when he was rushing the passer. But good player. Matt Eberflus, obviously familiar with him. He's now the defensive coordinator in Dallas. So I think a structure of upgrading from Sweat to Micah with picks involved could work and could make sense for both parties involved if the Cowboys are determined to not pay Micah Parsons top dollar. Okay, the Green Bay Packers are up next. They've been linked to pass rushers this offseason. Trey Hendrickson, perhaps they dive into the Micah Parsons sweepstakes as well. Micah and a 5th in next year's draft for Rashawn Gary, a 1st and a 3rd. Kind of similar to the Montez Sweat structure and idea where sure, you would love to pair him with Rashawn Gary, but Rashawn Gary is making around $25 million per year. So you shed some of that money, you pay Micah 40 plus, easier pill to swallow, and then there's some pick swaps in there as well, 1st and a 3rd, get a 5th back. I think Gary and Sweat are very similar tiers. I think Gary's 27, Sweat's 28, so similar points in their career, similar caliber player. Micah's an upgrade, but Dallas gets a good player back because I don't think Dallas wants to punt on this season by any means. So if you could get a Montez Sweat, if you could get a Rashawn Gary, that would certainly be at least a nice kind of silver lining for the Cowboys in a potential trade here. Okay, subscribe to the channel because here on 4 Verts, we react to all of the major NFL storylines. We cover some college football as well. Both sports are upon us as we're in the month of August. So hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications. It's 100% free. Couple more teams here. How about the Pittsburgh Steelers? And similar to the Bears and Packers, they have a secondary pass rusher, in their case secondary for the Bears and Packers. Sweat and Gary are their top pass rusher. But Alex Highsmith, who's an excellent number 2, could be a guy that they ship out. Now, Pittsburgh has gone crazy this offseason. Obviously, you give TJ Watt $41 million. You go get DK Metcalf. You trade for Jalen Ramsey. They have brought in a lot of high-priced players. Do you do another one here? In the past, there's an old clip of Micah saying if he were ever to return home to Pennsylvania, the Steelers were the team he would want to play for. So, of course, Steelers Twitter's eating that up. This was the structure I proposed. Micah, a 2027 5th. For Alex Highsmith, a 1st and a 4th in 2026. Highsmith in 2022 had 14.5 sacks, career high. Kind of felt like he was going to take off. Just 13 sacks the past 2 years, but very good player, can stop the run, good pass rusher, even if he is not elite in that department, would certainly, again, be a nice recovery piece for Dallas in return. And it would be the ultimate all-in move for Pittsburgh, which it's pretty clear they're pretty all-in already. Okay, lastly, the New England Patriots. They have the most cap space. They can take swings like this if they choose to do so. Pretty simple here. 2 1s and Keon White. Decent little pass rusher there. Kind of like Mafe, more of a rotation piece probably, but someone Eberflus in Dallas could develop into maybe something more. And New England gets that kind of dominant defensive pass rusher where you have Christian Gonzalez on the back end as well. So you have 2 big-time players on that defense. Mike Vrabel would love that certainly, while they're also trying to jumpstart Drake May this year. Probably more of a defensive team, takes pressure off May in the offense as they kind of enter this next phase of Patriots football. In the end, I think Dallas would like to get a player back. If a player is not in the trade, it's going to take a haul. You start with 2 first-round picks. I think that is the starting point. If it's picks only, is it 2 1s and a 3rd? Is it 2 1s and a 2? I don't know exactly. I think you're looking at something similar to the Khalil Mack trade several years ago, maybe a tick more, because I think Mike is a better pass rusher than Khalil Mack was, even if Mack was better against the run. These teams value guys who can get the quarterback, and there's not many players on the planet who can do that better than Micah Parsons. All right, we're going to get out of here. Which team should trade for Micah? I want to hear from you guys down in the comment section below. Again, don't forget to subscribe. We will be back tomorrow with another episode. More NFL and college football content coming your way here on 4 Verts.